You're a busy man.
We record this in my office at my business, and yes, some days are busier than others.
I know.
And this has been a busy day, and I appreciate your patience waiting. And now,
Hey, so this is Black and White.
with James and Eric,
I'm the black guy.
I'm the white guy. I'm Eric.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what?
What?
So remember when a couple of our friends, Laura Cavalier, Ted Martin, suggested online that we do a radio show?
Robin Wingard,
Robin Wingard, yes.
Eric Moore's wife, Tracy.
I just met her. She is.
You met her
yes.
at the thing at Christmas
She's
time, yeah.
adorable.
Well, I'm adorable.
Wait a minute. But will I get in trouble with the left for noticing? Well, I noticed her personality first, didn't I? Is it adorable, her personality?
I don't know. It was too loud. I couldn't tell what you were finding adorable.
Her personality. She was just a joy to be around.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. So I don't want to fall into that trap that Steve Martin fell into when he tweeted about Carrie Fisher when she died.
Yeah.
He said she was beautiful before he acknowledged that she was smart and witty.
Right.
Okay.
That's a problem.
Well, it's political correct.
In the PC culture, yes.
Right. Well, we're not going to be politically correct. Are we going to be politically correct on our radio show?
Hardly.
Hardly? Okay. So we're not going to be politically correct. So now this came about you and I bantering back and forth on Facebook.
Well, that and in person, when we all went out that night, there were, I don't know, 10 of us.
Let's go back to Facebook. No, the suggestion from Laura came way before.
Yes, but it was part of that was, hey, I would listen to this conversation.
You're right.
So you know, that's kind of where it came from. And I said, yeah, that's just what I need is one more thing to do every week. And for God's sakes, here we are doing it.
Okay, so yeah, right. So
but you and I were having these conversations anyways. We might as well record them.
Exactly. That's the conclusion that we came to. We've probably been doing this now for what, 5 years or more? Yeah. No, you know when it started? I know
when
exactly
that black guy got elected president.
No.
The half black guy, you're right. The half black guy.
The half black guy. And actually, it was 2012.
That's when he got elected.
Nope. That's when I started posting to Facebook on a regular basis.
Okay.
And you and I hooked up.
Yeah.
And we kept saying, hey, let's have lunch.
Right.
And realized that
I don't eat lunch.
You don't eat lunch and you're a busy
Well,
person.
I eat lunch, but I eat lunch at my desk. Yeah.
Right. And most of the time I was working somewhere outside the city.
Right. And you were just looking for a free lunch anyways.
I was. I never got it.
That's right.
And so I was like, you know what, this is ridiculous. I drive by that guy's store every day. I haven't seen him in God knows how long. I'm just going to pop in.
There you go.
And the conversation started.
Right.
And they were kind of crazy.
And here we are recording it.
And you know what? What's the your
My secretary?
No, she's your sales lady.
Okay.
All right, she's your sales lady.
Okay.
She actually shops at the store my wife works in.
Oh yes, right.
Yeah, my wife works at a retail establishment. Actually, it's Neil's shoe store in
the plaza.
In the plaza.
Road Plaza.
Yeah, go there. And she said those two are crazy.
Who said that? Connie said.
Connie said that to Robin.
Yeah.
She
but
enjoyed.
Listen, the market is not cornered.
Oh, crazy!
On Connie's opinion. I mean, everybody thinks that. It's not just Connie. She's just repeating.
She's just repeating
what everybody else has been saying for years.
Okay, and so she said she always says she enjoyed our conversations, and Robin had told her that we were thinking about recording them, and she said we should. And so here we are. So, do you remember the reactions we used to get to some of our Facebook posts?
Well, some people are made uncomfortable by subjects that are broached by people with different perspectives. So when a Democrat and a Republican, and I mean a staunch right and a staunch left, get together and have a discussion, when a Christian and a Muslim, when a Christian and an atheist, and those discussions generally, I don't think they are. I don't think they are as frequently volatile as we believe they are, but when they are, they're huge. Sometimes they end up with a chalk outline around a blood stain.
Okay. Are you talking about the current state of world affairs?
I'm talking about the Muslim versus Christian thing, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's like the actor said, the current state of world
Yeah.
affairs. Okay. So, like, one day we're going to do one of these little recordings, and we're going to pick, like, we're going to go
Wait
through.
a minute. Don't call it a little recording.
Yeah, no, last time you talked for an hour.
No, even I don't care if it's 6 hours. Don't belittle what we're doing here. We're geniuses, you know.
we're the smartest two guys in Ward, Ohio.
It's like my grandmother once in a while would say, so next time you go to that comedy club and do your little skit, you know, it's not a little skit.
It's an act.
These
It's a
are
show.
for crying out loud.
She called it a
These
skit?
comedic bits are the things that I've worked on for years. Not your little skit.
They're artistic gems.
Gems, they are gems, and they are artistic, yes.
Okay.
All right. But that's okay. That
right.
my grandmother could say anything
So-
to me and still get my love.
How about we do one podcast where we just find like the longest Facebook threads that we were able to create?
What, and read them?
Well, we'll keep the name secret.
Oh, I thought you meant yours and mine.
Yeah.
Comments back and forth.
Well, yeah. That's what started all this.
What do you think what good is it to keep the name secret? They're gonna know you're
They will.
They'll know that
they posted it.
Well, the opinion that's voiced by you will be wrong, and the opinion that's voiced by me will be absolutely correct.
Well, I'm talking about how our friends replied to our posts.
Oh,
Not your delusion that you're
The ones-
always right.
the ones that agreed with me. We'll just read those.
Not the ones that agree with me.
There aren't any. I'm sorry. I looked.
There aren't?
No,
No one agrees with me.
I searched.
A few people agree with me.
You can't agreeing with yourself. You can't like your own post. That's
Well,
just wrong.
You know what? Speaking of liking your own post, this goes out to my cousin Kevin Foy. Stop sharing my posts without liking them. You need to drive my likes up, dude.
Why? What do you? Are you so vain, Kim Kardashian, that you're concerned about your likes? How many followers do you have on Snapchat, Instagram?
I have an Instagram account that I've never used.
I have a couple of these social media things that I've never used, but I also have a marketing company that uses that. I was surprised when I went to one account and I opened it up and I'd been posting almost every day for 2 years.
That's what marketing companies are
I
supposed
know,
to do.
but I had never read it.
You didn't even know what you were saying?
I had no idea.
Okay.
It turns out I'm a genius.
Are you?
So,
Well,
yeah.
see, there you
Yeah.
go.
No, they had taken things from other parts
What?
of things that I'd done and just reworked them and new photographs and
Well, I'm
whatever.
gonna have to
but
check that out. Sounds like they're like
Yeah,
on
they're
their
pretty cool.
JOB.
They're pretty cool.
Okay.
They're good at what they do.
Yeah. And how's that working out for you?
Good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're selling carpet?
Well, we ain't giving it away, as they say. It's the company is I Am Image Marketing in Canfield, Ohio. They do a great job.
They do a great job.
They
I
do
know
both.
them.
They do both my flooring store, SotoliCarpet.com, and they do the entertainment site, which is EricThompsonMagic.com. They do both of those sites.
I actually identified that company after I graduated art school as one of the companies I was going to apply to. But I did not move back to Pittsburgh immediately because I was gainfully employed at the time.
There you go. And they're growing leaps and bounds.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check out what they're doing.
Yeah, they're doing good.
So what are we doing?
I don't know. You were leading this discussion today.
I am. So what are we doing? We want to launch a radio. Are we launching a radio station?
I don't think our left hand doesn't know what our right hand's doing. We're doing a podcast.
We're doing a podcast.
However it's disseminated, whether it's
We-
they call it streaming radio.
Yeah.
It's a podcast.
It is. It's
So it's all
right.
the same.
So you'll be able to click
Whether
on it.
we're on Stitcher or Airtime or any of those.
Exactly, something like that. Or if you want to just go to the Facebook page and
Right.
catch up on the ramblings of two.
Right. You can go back and look at this is our fifth. I believe this is our fifth episode.
I think it's the sixth.
You can go back and look at.
You were never good at math.
You can go back and listen to the original ones. So if you're just checking in now, just finding us now, go back and listen.
He doesn't make any sense sometimes. So,
So what?
let me ask you this.
Ask me anything.
What kind of topics you think we should cover as we're like going down the road here?
We'll figure those out when we get there.
Well, the name of the show is Black and White.
Yeah. So every topic we broach
Mm-hmm.
will be looked at from a perspective of black and white.
Okay.
So what do you got for today?
What do I got for today? What I have for today is this show. The show in and of itself. the perspectives that we're actually giving. You know, first of all, here we are sitting in Warren, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, not quite our hometown, but Howland didn't have a post office, so
I was born at Trumbull Memorial Hospital,
so was I. So
which is in Warren, Ohio.
it is, and you know, I tell most of the people in Trumbull County, they say, "Well, I wasn't born in Warren. I was born in Champion." I go, "Is there a hospital in Champion?" And they say, "No." I said, "What hospital were you born in?" "Well, the one in Warren." "Okay, then you were born in Warren."
And you know, back then we did all of our shopping in Warren, and you know, Howland was a sleepy little village. I lived in the Bollandale part of Howland, which was not the Howland Corners part of Howland or the mall part of Howland. So you know, we did our shopping in downtown Warren until the mall was built and destroyed downtown Warren.
Okay, so we're
So yeah, it's
yeah,
Warren.
we're Warren.
Warren in Trumbull County.
Warren and Trumbull County. We're born in Warren and Trumbull County. And so today we're going to talk about, I know you don't like politics. I know you don't like
I love politics.
Oh, you used to be a politician.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. You were a politician in Newton Falls.
Yes.
Okay, and we established that probably in another podcast.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, and we lightly mentioned in one other podcast that I was running for city council.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'm doing this as a recent Democrat switching to the Republican Party. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because our current president just made a stop in Florida this last weekend.
Yes.
And I was really taken by the number of blacks for Trump. That number seems to be growing of the people that they're, you know, peppering the stage behind him with.
Are you saying, when you say pepper, are you saying pepper because pepper's black?
I guess
Is that what you're saying?
Actually, I was using pepper in the form that they were strategically placed because, you know, when you sprinkle pepper on your food, you know, you're really not aiming. You're just kind of like trying to cover the whole thing. And but in this case,
black pepper.
It works.
Black pepper.
It works.
All right.
In this case, it works. It works. It works.
Black pepper matters.
Black pepper matters. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that show too one day. And does it matter? Does it matter?
Does what matter?
Does it matter that, I guess, to him, America, to you, that African Americans should or want to have to support the current president of the United States?
Does it matter to Donald Trump, President Trump?
Well, obviously
does
it matters. It matters to him because, you know, either he or someone on his staff went through great lengths to make sure that they had an increased number of African American faces.
I don't know if that was someone on his staff or someone in the Democratic Party in Florida or the Republican Party in Florida. Well, you know, I don't know which party was. It wasn't a campaign rally, so it wasn't necessarily. They were Americans. They weren't necessarily Republicans, because there's a lot of Republicans that don't like this president.
Yeah, and there are a lot of Democrats who left the Republican Party, the Democratic Party to vote for this president. Now, I left the Democratic Party locally, but not to vote for this president.
Okay.
I didn't. I supported Bernie. I supported Bernie the day he announced. I went on Act Blue and I gave Bernie
Act Blue.
Act Blue.
A black guy went on Act Blue.
Well,
I mean, I've seen white guys act black.
Have you?
How do you act blue? What do you hold your breath? Hey, that's something. If I hold my breath, I turn blue. Do you?
Purple.
Oh, purple.
Purple.
That makes sense.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you paid attention in our class. Now, when you mix red and green, what color do you get?
Red and green?
Yeah.
Black.
Blue.
Red and green?
Blue. Get Siri out.
No, I'm not getting serious.
Okay, it's blue. Okay. So I paid attention in art class. I don't know about you.
Well, you have an extensive education in art.
Well, art, like I told you, art started with me, with my mom, who was a really good sketch artist. And I picked that up. So did a few of my sisters. And then that creative thing turned into writing for me.
Oh, very good.
My sister Carla continued down the artistic path, does really great sketches, pencil drawing, things like that. My sister Mary was a good sketch artist, gravitated towards comic books.
Do you, because you write, but you have a background in art, do you use colored pencils?
Believe
I'm
it,
sorry. African American pencils. Can't call them colored anymore.
believe it or not, I do have a box of colored pencils.
I knew it.
I don't write with them.
What do you do with them?
Every now and then I will sketch with them.
All right. Because colored pencils matter.
Color pen. Actually, if you want to do an abstract sketch, the abstraction plays better if you have multiple colors.
Let me ask you something.
What?
If you turned your radio on and heard this conversation, unless the knob was broken, would you change?
Seriously? You're talking to... Okay.
I'm just saying. I think our only listeners right now are the ones with the broken knobs.
No, they're not.
All right.
They have...
You think there's hundreds of people hanging on our...
No, they have also have dull colored pencils too.
So we're talking to the colored pencil crowd.
Yeah. When I turn this conversation off, no.
Oh God! And
I'm a bigger nerd than you
I was
really
going to
thought.
say your arm must not be long enough to reach the radio.
But my hands are big enough.
Oh, good Lord! We're talking for 20 minutes about colored pencils. All right. So,
Okay.
anyways, forget the art part.
Okay. Why am I forgetting the art part?
Because, well, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Drone on some more about colors. I'm sure the world
Well,
is fascinated.
The name of the show is Black or White.
Yeah, and you're talking about colors.
I know, but someone once told me that black is not a color; it's the absence of white.
No, white is an absence of color.
White is an absence.
Black is all the colors.
White is an absence of pigmentation, isn't it?
I'm going to shut it off myself. You were asking me about what, or you were telling me about the blacks for Trump.
Yes,
that
I
you
was.
saw at the rally.
I was. Sometimes
Donald.
I'm like the guy with dementia who wanders off.
Well, let me rein you back in with one
Okay.
of those shock callers.
Okay.
Donald Trump spoke at a campaign style rally a month after taking the presidency. He went to Florida.
Correct.
And was it Daytona, I believe?
It was
and it
somewhere
was in a hangar at an airport. And
Yeah.
there were many, I did notice, there were many signs that said blacks for Trump.
More than usual.
Yes.
Right.
Well, because he's the president
Well,
of the United States, not just of the half or the 42% or whatever the numbers are. He's the president of the United States. And we can do, the people that want to say hashtag not my president
Yeah.
and that want to rally, that's fine. Good for them. They're wrong. He's the
wrong.
president.
He is.
Now, they don't have to like him.
no,
I'm
they
not
didn't.
saying that.
A lot of people didn't like the other guy.
But he is the president.
Okay.
Period. Now, if you want to work toward, not you specifically, but you, the listener, if you want to work toward defeating this man in 4 years, then so be it. Go ahead. And I have no problem with that campaign starting today, which is a really good idea. I don't know who the Democrats will put out, but it's starting to feel like Hillary.
Oh, I hope not. Well, you know what's really funny?
No, listen. If she ran,
she would lose.
No, I don't think so.
She would.
I don't not.
Oh my
not now.
gosh. Yeah.
I think the Democratic Party, the base, is so well organized today
That she would win.
that she would win because
How about that
they know
50
where they
how about
know
that-
where they have to go. She won the popular vote. They know what they have to do to get over on the electoral vote now.
Okay, so basically what they did was NBC, I think it was NBC Marist did a poll.
Okay.
They put up a unidentified Democrat against the current president of the United States.
Okay.
That Democrat wins.
Sure.
Okay. They put up Elizabeth Warren against the current president of the United States.
When was this?
This was last week.
Okay.
She loses.
Of course she loses.
Now, explain to the listeners why you think, even though an unnamed Democrat would beat the current president, but Elizabeth Warren would lose.
Because Elizabeth Warren has baggage.
What kind?
Whatever. She's irritated people with some of her stances or policies.
Okay.
Okay, so she's got a negative quotient.
Okay.
An unnamed Democrat doesn't have any negative.
No, we don't know who he is yet.
Right, exactly.
Or
You
her.
can't-
Or her. Don't let me get in trouble.
Okay, but you can't sling mud against no one.
That's true.
So an unnamed Democrat, that's like your vision of the perfect woman. She doesn't exist. But well, she does exist. But I'm married. I'm married to her.
I was going to say, didn't we all marry the perfect woman?
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know. But it's like the perfect person. They just don't exist. You know, once you give them a name, a face, and a background, now they have some negative baggage. Everybody has negative baggage.
Okay.
So an unnamed Democrat against a president who seems to be portrayed as being in chaos, who didn't win the popular vote, who has an organized campaign of a base of people that are out actively campaigning against him. Of course he loses to nobody, because nobody is the perfect person, the perfect candidate. Elizabeth Warren, I don't know. I don't know if Elizabeth Warren could be president. I don't think she has the likability that even that Hillary had. She was very popular prior to running for the Senate. When she was brought in to manage the bailout, she was on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. They got along great. She was funny, witty, intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Then she put a D after her name and campaigned against the stances of the conservative wing of the party and of the Republican Party. And of course she irritated people. And now she's saying things that she is so far left right now. It's crazy. The typical trajectory for elected office is in the primary you campaign to the left of your party. In the general election you campaign more toward the center. Mm-hmm. And then you govern
from the middle.
From the middle. Elizabeth Warren is not doing that. Elizabeth Warren campaigned from the left, won the election by being left, and is now governing left. That she's not going to win any more friends. But
No.
She doesn't need to win friends nationally. She needs to just keep the friends in her district.
Okay, so the reason I'm asking this question is I spent Sunday night at dinner with Ken McPherson and Cindy Michael and Ken's daughter, Krishna. And then Ken and I had a conversation. You know, Ken's running for city council, too.
Yes.
Yes, he's running for 4th Ward, 5th Ward.
5th Ward.
5th Ward, right. Looks like slam dunk going to win.
Nah, don't say that.
I can say this because you know why? I'm making a projection.
So when the people said, Hillary's going to win, hands down, slam dunk, no problem. And you know what happened?
What?
People didn't go out and vote because I don't need to vote. She doesn't need my vote. She's going to win.
Oh, you're right.
I know I'm right.
So I should stop saying that.
So yeah, you should stop saying that. You either run scared or you run unopposed.
Exactly.
And he's opposed.
He's not unopposed. You're right.
Right.
So he's running. And he's running a good campaign. And he's got some experience because, let's face it, this is, his second, third time up.
Yep.
And so, he's got it down. And so, I was listening to him, tell me, what are people saying? How are some of the messages going?
Now, he's talking about, he's relaying to you the conversations he's had as he goes door to door.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, he is. And, I want to see, what the temperature of the water is out there. I have an easier run than he does come this May.
Okay.
Because the May 2nd primary, geez Louise, if I go in and vote for myself, I'm on November's ballot.
Right.
Okay.
You're on the ballot unopposed in the Republican primary.
Correct, because there's only two of us.
Right. Your challenge comes in November.
My challenge comes between now and November. Like Ken said, my biggest opponent is anonymity.
That's correct.
Okay. I have three. I'll be running against three Democratic candidates who all have name recognition. One a former mayor.
Wait, they can't all run as Democrats in the general election.
Yeah, you have three at-larges that run. I'm running at large, not in my ward.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm running at large, not in my ward.
Are there only three Democrats?
Yes.
So they will all three win their primary also.
On May 2nd.
Okay.
Correct. And then we will all meet up again in November.
And then then there'll be four of you on the ballot.
5.
Who's the fifth? An independent.
Yes. John Bain is running as a Republican as well. At large.
In the primary?
In the primary, yes.
So you do have opposition in the primary?
There's 2 of us. There's 3 slots.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Warren's a little bit bigger than Newton Falls.
I'm not even thinking that. I keep forgetting that it's the at-large position and not the ward position.
Right. And so you have, there's a 3-way,
Yes.
3-headed hydra.
Hydra?
A hydra.
What's water got to do with it?
Oh, well, come on. You paid attention.
Move along.
Okay, no sidebars.
We're not talking Greek mythology now. Go.
Okay, one of my favorite topics in elementary school was Greek mythology.
Well,
however.
listen, when I'm on vacation or in the hospital or something,
I could do a podcast by
you could
myself.
do a podcast, and you could talk to yourself about Greek mythology all day there, Odin.
I will.
All right.
I
good.
think I will.
I'll look forward to not listening to that.
Odin is a...
Move along with the politics.
Okay, move along with the politics. Okay, so I've been sort of I've been on the other side of this. Okay, I've been a campaign field organizer for the Ohio Democratic Party.
How'd that go, by the way?
I never lost an election in Trumbull County.
No, you didn't.
No, but the candidates did.
Yeah.
No, they did.
Too bad the governor doesn't run just in Trumbull County. Huh?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. 2010, the Ohio Democratic Party went 0 for 10 statewide.
Let me ask you this.
What's that?
Governor Ted Strickland was running for governor when you were running the
Yes,
campaign
he was.
here. Why did he lose? Why did a Republican beat him?
A Republican beat him, and
Republican John Kasich.
Republican John Kasich did beat him. There was a perception amongst the base of the Democratic Party that the governor did not do enough to reach out to help that particular constituency.
He wasn't running for re-election that year, was he?
Yes, he was running for re-election in 2010.
Oh, in 2010. Okay.
Yeah, he was running for re-election. Okay.
Because didn't he run again in 2014?
He ran he took on Portman in a primary for senator a couple years after that, remember? He did horribly.
Yeah, he did horrible, awful.
Awful. But the reason Governor Strickland was the victim of, remember, he was governor during the 2008 meltdown, financial meltdown.
Yes.
Ohio lost hundreds of thousands, 500,000 jobs. And it was an easy campaign to lay it all at the feet. People were hurting in the state financially. Everyone was hurting financially. You always blame the guy in charge.
So would you think that if they had done some polling, that he would have been defeated by an unnamed Republican?
Oh, heck yeah.
There you go.
But this Republican was not unnamed.
I know.
Yeah, he was very well funded, and he guess where he used to work?
It doesn't matter.
No, you're right. It doesn't matter. But also, what didn't help, because the name of the show is Black and White, was African Americans at that time had nothing to do with Governor Strickland.
It had everything to do with Governor Strickland.
Okay, it had everything to do. It had been building for decades. Okay, African Americans were feeling left out of the process of the Democratic Party.
You know the cure for that, right?
What's the house that?
Show up and get involved.
Well, I've had that conversations with numerous people, and they feel like that showing up every 2-4 years, voting that party ticket, and then withdrawing to the comfort of their lives.
All they had to do was go to church every Saturday or Sunday, and the church van would take them to the early polling.
Well, they make it too easy for them, for people to. Well, let's don't say make it too easy for them. Okay, participating in the process is not just voting. Participating in the process is making sure that your elected official knows who you are, knows your position on the issues. Okay, and if you can participate financially, okay, I highly suggest you do that as well.
You suggest that one of the better ways to be involved politically is to give money to a candidate?
If you can afford it.
Whether I can afford it or not, I'm a hard sell to get money out of.
So am I, okay? Now, there have been candidates that I've given money to who I no longer support.
Did you get your money back?
No, they won't give it back.
Let me tell you a story. There was one candidate from the Mahoning Valley that ran for statewide election.
Mm-hmm.
He ran for Attorney General and won.
Yeah,
It was Mark Dan.
Mark Dan.
I went to an ice cream social because a good friend of mine said, you have to go, you're going to love this guy. I'd met him several times prior, but this is different. There's a different perspective, different personality. in a campaign mode. He said, come, watch this guy engage the public. So I went, and there weren't very many people there. It was a pretty closed thing. But I think it was $100 a ticket. And I went to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that he won the election.
Yes, he did.
And after
shocked everyone, even him.
Yeah, sure. And after being in office for
Was it 4 months? 4 or 5.
Yeah, he was booted out because there were scandals, there were sex parties and wild, and all kinds of accusations. He ended up going to prison for a couple of years, lost his law license, has slowly gotten that back, and been on the road to recovery now.
Did you see any of this when you gave him $100?
No, but I wrote him a letter and asked for my $100 back.
Did you get it?
No, but I was making a point. He lied, and the lie was right there because his whole campaign was built on stopping corruption in that office. And he went there, and it became worse. Now, it may not have become worse directly because of him. He had people under him that were goofing up too.
Yes.
He had people fired left and right.
He picked them.
Presumably, he picked them.
Okay.
I don't think he knew all of them. I think he probably was on the interview, but a guy like that can't possibly, you can't hire all those people yourself.
So you're saying maybe the party had a hand in it?
The party, his manager,
campaign manager.
Well, not just the campaign manager, but the guy that's managing the offices in Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
Then he had an office in Dayton and an office in Cincinnati and an
One in
office in
Youngstown.
Cleveland, one in Youngstown, and it was because of his conduct and his eventual public failure that it's going to be an awfully long time, or it's likely to be an awfully long time, before another resident of the Mahoning Valley can win a statewide election.
Are you including Tim Ryan in that?
Is he a Mahoning Valley resident?
Yes, he is.
There you go.
Are you including Jay Williams in that?
Yeah.
These are two local names that are being floated for our next governor's race.
Right, I know.
Joe Schiavone's running too.
I know.
He's already announced.
I know.
Like Joe. I've worked with Joe.
I like all three of those guys.
They're real.
I don't necessarily agree with all their policies or like all their policies or whatever, but they're all three decent guys.
So you're saying because of Mark Dan's travesty?
No. No.
Is it was it a travesty? Can I call it a travesty?
I don't care what you call it. You can label it whatever you want.
Okay.
You can call it an
debacle.
You can call it an alt tragedy.
Alt tragedy.
Yeah, because I know from our last podcast you love that alt right.
You should read my latest Facebook post.
I got no
up to
time
date.
for that.
I'm not going to put it up there.
So here's the thing.
What?
About 150 years ago, the
do the math. 150 years ago was when?
1860s.
Thank you.
Civil War era.
Thank you.
The president was Abraham Lincoln. The governor of Ohio was Governor Todd.
Okay.
Todd Avenue.
Yeah.
Todd Hospital. Todd School. Todd everything.
Yeah.
He was the last Mahoning Valley resident to win a statewide election until Mark Dan. 150 years.
And we kind of squandered that, huh? Dave Beatrice, I had this conversation with Beatrice about Mark Dan.
Now, Dave Beatrice was Mark Dan's law partner, and he is now currently the head of the Democratic Party in Mahoning County.
And like you, Mr. Beatrice believes that this valley, because the power base the Democratic power base in Ohio used to be Northeast Ohio. Now it's Franklin County. Okay.
Well, it's all the urban centers.
It is. So that's Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, Toledo, and our urban centers are shrinking
Akron,
fast.
But not Canton.
No, exactly.
Canton was the largest city in the state of Ohio to have a Republican mayor.
I can believe that.
8 or 10 years ago.
8 to 10 years ago. Okay. So.
And it was female.
Really?
Yes.
You're a bigger political nerd than I am. So Mr. Beatrice actually concurs with you. That,
Well, then I must be wrong. I am now forced to rethink my position on almost everything.
No, because
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
He actually believes if that attorney general seat had worked out well, then the Valley would have had a little more sway, and maybe even in the recent election, maybe some of the power base would have swung out of Franklin County back towards Northeast Ohio. And you know why? Because think about it. We were ground zero for the changing of Ohio from blue to red. Or is it we still deep purple?
I don't know.
Would you call Ohio a blue, a red state, or a purple state?
You know what? I don't label.
Well, you have to in this case.
No, I don't.
Sure. Are we Republican? Are we Democratic? Or are we...
We're a swing state.
We've always been a swing state.
There you go.
Okay.
We're not. We're clear.
We're clear?
Yes. Clear lives matter.
Okay. I'm asking this question because, Randy has been, Mr. Randy Law, the chairman.
Randy Law is the chairman of the Republican Party in Trumbull County.
I let him do that because he feels like he's playing Jeopardy. And...
Well, no, you just start talking. I mean, maybe some of these people don't know who these players are.
Well, and that's why we're doing
I know
this.
you don't care
I do care.
about the little people, but,
I'm one of those little people. You know what? It's so much easier for me to do this with like a professional like yourself because I know I don't have to think about those things.
Good.
You'll take care of them.
It's
for
very
me.
obvious to me that you're not thinking. Go on. Go on. You were talking about Randy Law, the chairman of the Trumbull County Republican Party.
Right.
For now.
Sure. If you go online, lots and lots of interviews recently. From far as away as Korea, Japan, people coming into the county want to find out, because all the 88 counties in Ohio, Trumbull County has the longest, most solid Democratic voting record of all of them. So to flip our county was like kind of historic. And so these news crews from as far as away Sweden are flying in to interview Randy. And so I'm collecting them, on YouTube and online and watching them, okay? And
You're watching the Swedish news as they interview Randy Law, who lives right around the corner here?
Yeah.
Okay. You could call Randy and talk to him yourself. You don't have to filter him through the Baltic states or Europe
or the Koreans
yeah.
or the or whoever else has been here. And
no, Randy did what I thought was a really cool segment on. What's Van Jones's show called?
Oh, he's on CNN.
Yeah.
I forget. I love Van Jones too. I forget the name.
I don't remember the name of the show either. But he spent a day driving around or a couple days driving around Trumbull County, showing where the steel mill used to be, where the stores used to be, looking at the vacant storefronts and the manufacturing plants that are now either idled or just gone, completely gone. And I think Van Jones got a real eye-opening moment because even when he was with Obama and campaigning with him back
never got to see those places.
You didn't see those places.
No, because
Heavens,
because you're not going to come to your a stronghold, Ohio political stronghold, and you're not going to go show the despair and then show that and then let your opponents show that all across the country.
Well, here's how I look at this. What has happened?
I'm going to have a senior moment too.
What has happened?
I'm having a senior moment.
What has happened is because Trumbull County and Mahoning County and the whole Mahoning Valley have chosen candidates the way they have chosen them over the last 50 years or so. What has happened is that in Columbus, when they go to govern, the Democrats seem to, or it feels like the Democrats ignore Northeast Ohio.
Really?
It also feels like, well, sure they do. Of course they do, James, because they don't have to do anything here. We're going to vote for them no matter what they do. We've proven that over and over. Now, the Republicans, they don't give us the time of day because no matter what they do, we're never going to vote for them.
And
so our area is kind of just hanging out there in space. Now, we don't have the luxury of the population center that Cleveland has, Cuyahoga County. So Cuyahoga County gets a little bit more attention from the Republican Party. Even though they still vote Democrat, they keep trying there. Even into Canton and Akron, there's still a population base. But the Youngstown Warren base, it's gone. And nobody cares. I really feel like nobody cares.
I have to agree with you. You know why I'm going to agree with you?
Because I'm right.
Well, not always follow the money. Okay?
Okay.
So, after we had the meltdown and President Obama released the stimulus money,
Yes.
there was a website that you could go to see where all the stimulus money was going.
Okay.
Okay. And when I looked at the list of where the lion's share of the money from the stimulus package was going, I was asking the same questions that you were asking. Why is Governor Strickland spending large sums of money of the stimulus package in Republican-held areas that you're going to lose anyway? Okay? Why not spend that money in, like I said, like you said, Northeast Ohio to shore up your base? Okay? So I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. 100%. A 100%. So,
Well, I think what they when the governor is when a Democratic governor is seeing that state funds are being spent in Republican strongholds, it's to gain a few votes because they look at if we can only lose by 100,000 fewer votes, we'll win the state.
exactly.
So that's
That theory was proven wrong by the current president of the United States, who realized that cost, the amount of that stimulus money that went into those Republican areas to get those few 100,000 votes, would have drawn out maybe 300,000 to 400,000 more votes in Cuyahoga County had he focused more of his attention there. And in the end, it was the governor, Strickland, who literally, kind of made the statement that it was Cuyahoga County that let him down, when the truth is Cuyahoga County kind of felt like, you let us down.
okay.
And African Americans did not turn out for Governor Strickland in the numbers that he thought they would. And there was an organized effort among African American leaders and pastors to black out the 2010 Democratic vote. And we went to great lengths at the Ohio Democratic Party to keep that a secret. But you can't keep it a secret when they got a webpage holding big meetings. Also, another point. The Ohio Democratic Party right now has no African Americans on their central committee.
Why is that?
I'm not going to say what I want to.
Why? What do you want to?
I just wanted to say,
I mean, just between you and me. Here,
Well, between-
here, wait. Here.
stop the recording.
Yeah, I'll stop the recording. Okay, it's stopped, James. Just tell me what you were going to say.
It's a plantation.
Okay, I'm going to turn this back on now.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, you want me to explain what I meant by that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was what?
It's a plantation.
Ohio.
No, the Ohio Democratic Party.
Okay.
Look, when you come to African Americans every 2 to 4 years and say, we need your vote, we need your vote, we need your vote, okay? And then African Americans consistently, since the civil rights movements, have backed the Democratic Party because of our historic connection to Dr. King and that movement that gave us, a little bit more unfettered right to the ballot box. All right? So every 2 to 4 years, you ask us to continue to support us, continue to support the Democrats, continue to support the Democrats. But in between those 2 to 4 years, in between those cycles, none of the issues that directly affect the African American community,
Okay.
are they're not addressed.
Of course not.
We've never had.
But listen. You know why?
Why?
Because it was 2010. You guys went as a minority group. You said, "Hey, we're not supporting anybody." Well, good. Sit over there and shut up, and stay out while the white people just call the shots. And it was even called a blackout.
Well, yeah.
Well, you know what? Guess what?
What?
If you don't support me, I'm not going to support you.
They've never supported us. Evidence in the fact that there are no African Americans. You're telling me that you want me to be a big part of this coalition, but you won't.
I don't. I just assume you stay at home, keep your mouth shut.
Okay. And trust me, so with the Ohio Democratic Party, so with the Trumbull County Democratic Party, and so with a lot of elected officials here in Warren, like me to just go home and shut up. But you've known me for how long?
Too long.
Okay.
Apparently it is too long.
And not expressing my opinion would be akin to me what? Like what? I don't know. Something crazy. Let's just go with something crazy, right? So, all in all, the point of this conversation is I'm trying to get an idea of I've been the organizer. Now I have to be the candidate. So that's what we're talking. You were once an official. I guess I probably should talk to Mr. Beatrice as well, since I have a working relationship with him, as an underling, but not as a candidate. I should get some
How long ago did Ken Blackwell run for governor of Ohio? Was it 90 something, 95,
I would say so.
94?
Right. So Taft,
Yeah.
after Taft.
Yeah.
Blackwell was in
Taft was term limited out,
Yep. And it was Mr. Blackwell's turn. He was Secretary of the State.
and he got beat by.
Strickland.
There you go.
Okay. Now, ask me who I voted for.
Well, you better have voted for the black guy.
I did vote for the black guy. I voted for Ken Blackwell.
There you go. See,
Okay.
it's even in his name.
It is. And I was a registered Democrat when I voted for Ken Blackwell. No, I take it back. Was I independent?
Yeah, you would have had to have been.
I switched. I switched that year. Well, 1980 to 2007, I was a registered independent. I re-registered.
Oh, so really, you were really having nobody pay attention to you.
Didn't really care at the time.
Well, they didn't care about you either, so
I
that
know
worked out
that.
really well.
It did, because I have always been aware since we graduated high school that neither party cared about my blackness.
Yeah, because blackness matters.
Blackness matters, dude. Blackness does matter. So yeah,
my.
I voted for Ken Blackwell, and interesting. Okay, I had a conversation with my father when Obama ran,
Okay.
and other family members when President Obama ran, and some individuals in the African American community, some African Americans, they're not going to vote for him because he's black. Well, you know, that's America. That's their prerogative. Okay. My retort was, did you vote for Ken Blackwell? No. Well, why not? He's a black guy. Well, he's a Republican. He's still the black candidate. So I didn't understand their argument or their discomfort.
Ken
with the fact-
Blackwell is the closest that that an African American has come to being governor of Ohio.
Agreed.
He was he Secretary of State?
Yes, he
Treasurer?
he was Secretary of State. He also hired.
And he was, wait a minute, he was Secretary of State in the mid 90s.
Yes.
It wasn't until it was Voinovich, Taft, Strickland. Strickland was
Strickland beat.
06,
Well,
04.
in 20
And that's when Blackwell ran, would have been in 2000 or 2002.
It would have been 2005. This election would have happened, right?
2004.
2004.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, and believe it or not, if you look at Ken Blackwell's hiring record, okay, he put more African Americans on the state payroll.
At the plantation?
That's the
That's the Democrats. I'm
that's
sorry.
the Democrat. And I'm probably going to get in trouble for this because some of my
You think?
yeah, well, some of my Democratic mentors.
Hopefully, 40 minutes ago when we were talking about Greek mythology,
Yeah.
the people that would be angry with you right now,
Yeah.
shut it off.
No, that was about art. You didn't let me talk about Greek mythology.
Damn right.
So this is I'm going around to right now. I'm going around and I'm getting advice from my friends. I have a lot of friends who either sought elected office, held elected office, or currently seeking elected office. And I've got some experience being a campaign manager.
And some of those people are just pretending to be your friend.
Really?
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm pretty good about you know what? It's easy to be able to count on your friends when you have one very fast, staunch rule about friendships. Okay.
What's your staunch, fast rule about friendships?
I've had to know.
You know what mine is? Don't have friends.
Don't have friends.
That's right.
Mine is it's easier to be friends with someone if you've known them for a couple decades.
Oh, that could play against you too, though.
I know, because you know way too much about
That's
it.
right.
You know way too much about it.
That's right.
Yeah, so you guys have all won. You've run. Ken hasn't won yet. Okay, you've won. You've never lost. You've never,
I've never lost an election.
You've
no.
never lost an election. And see, that's why I'm sitting here like just sucking knowledge out of. Is there any knowledge left in there?
I'm tapped out.
Are you?
I am.
Okay.
I flatlined. My brain flatlined a couple of years back.
Did it? And so right now it's only capable of selling carpet?
You know what I did? I quit smoking.
What happened?
Should have never quit smoking.
Well, I'm trying to quit right now, and I actually want to get to where you're at. So
You do?
yeah,
Oh, good. Get the highest, best, most expensive medical insurance coverage you can get.
okay.
Because I got me one of them there chemical imbalance things going on or something. Because I'm a mess. I was fine till I quit smoking. Anyways, but that's another discussion.
Yeah, that's our healthcare. That's our healthcare podcast.
There you go. Write that down.
ACH.
So here's don't write down ACH because by the time we get around to recording it, it won't be called that.
You're right.
It's Trump Care.
It's Trump. Does he care?
Maybe it'll be called Trump Doesn't Care.
Well, to a lot of people who's going to lose their health care, that's exactly how it's going to
Yeah, but
feel.
those people didn't have health care even, 6 years ago?
Yeah, but there's still 20 million who are going to lose it. And guess who else is going to lose some health care under this new plan?
The illegal immigrants.
Veterans.
Veterans?
Veterans.
They should be used to it. We've been treating veterans like crap for decades.
I know. Like,
all right.
We use them for cannon fodder.
Fodder?
Fodder.
What about mutter?
That sounds like something we're not supposed to say on the air, so I'll leave it alone. Okay.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking.
What? What do you think?
In talking about a black governor.
We don't have a black governor.
In talking about the lack of a black governor.
Okay.
How many females have been lieutenant governor? I think 2.
Well, we have right now Mary Taylor. That's one.
Okay.
Now, Strickland did pick a lieutenant.
He didn't.
She didn't win.
Okay, well, good. He might as well pick me.
That's true.
Of course, that would have goofed up my undefeated record, but
yeah, what it really made it bad.
So yeah, I think there have been 2.
Who was the other
female?
Our current one.
Listen to me. Stop interrupting me. I think there were 2 females that served as lieutenant governor.
Is this mic on?
Both of them were white.
Okay.
Why is it?
Why is that?
That every, let's call it oppressed minority group.
Yeah. And we're including
gets ahead
right
before the blacks.
You mean like
women?
You mean like why did NASA send a white woman into space before an African American male?
Yes. And by the way,
what?
When that took place?
Yes, I was keenly aware of it.
I
was keenly aware of the imagery.
I was too. And here's what impressed me.
What's that?
That made an impression on me is when the first female went up as an astronaut. Oh, it was huge news. There were parades. It was amazing.
Yes.
But this was in the early 80s.
Right.
And then by the mid 80s, they said, well, we best send up a black guy.
Yes, they did.
You know, the first black astronaut on a space shuttle was also the first night launch.
Are you saying they did that on purpose?
I'm saying it's like they were trying to sneak him up there. They
told him don't smile.
They did it at night when nobody was looking.
And they told him don't smile?
I don't know what they told him.
Okie dokie. And it was a night launch.
I'm just
Was
saying,
it the first night launch?
It was the first time the shuttle had been launched at night.
And they put a black dude on it.
And it was the first time a black astronaut was part of the crew. So the first black guy went up and they went up at night. I guess because if they had done it at 6 o'clock in the morning,
it had stopped rush hour.
Well, you know, you told me the other day about color people time.
Oh, he wouldn't have showed up?
Yeah, he would have been late.
Okay.
He would have got to the launch pad around 9:30 and said, what happened? Where's the shuttle? They said, dude, it went up at 6:30.
But you know what? Funny, I mentioned NASA, and the thing is, both of those incidents, the optics of those incidents was not lost on me from a black and white point of view. You know what I mean?
Yes, I get it.
And that's probably why one of the reasons we're doing this show.
It is.
Is it? We want to compare and contrast.
How about Jeanette Bradley?
Who is Jeanette Bradley?
Jeanette Bradley was the lieutenant governor and from 03 to 05, a Republican. She was also the state treasurer from 05 to 07. So there's your other
female. Lieutenant governor of Ohio.
Correct.
Okay.
What was the name of the first black astronaut?
I do not know, and I should know that.
His name
was Stuart Bluford Jr. And it was, okay, we're going to spell the first name. Guion. But it's in parentheses. Is that his nickname?
No, it's not.
It's not? It's not in parentheses?
No.
No, I'm sorry. The whole
thing's in
the
quotes.
the whole thing is a quote. Wait. Come on, let's read his rank. Colonel, United States Air Force, retired. Also has a PhD. I'm going to assume in aeronautics because most pilots.
What do you think? It's in art
I'm definitely not in art.
or Greek mythology?
Not Greek mythology.
Well-
The Air Force has a thing about letting
He was a fighter pilot.
art majors fly their aircraft. So aeronautics more than likely. Okay, or some engineering degree,
I can't understand you when you're laughing. What? What did you say?
or an engineering degree.
Ah,
Okay, but definitely not art or Greek mythology. Actually, I like Roman mythology better than Greek mythology.
hey, shh. We're not talking about that.
Oh, we're not.
No.
That's just the other conversation going on in my head.
That's for you to talk about when you're by yourself.
When you're in the hospital.
When I'm dead or something. Yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna do is a podcast about
About me being dead.
I'm not doing that one.
All right.
I'm not doing that one.
First woman in space.
In space,
Yeah,
low orbit, or
I would imagine. You're never going to get it, so I'll just tell you.
please.
It's Valentina
As a-
Tereshkova.
I thought it was a Russian.
And
That's
listen.
What?
1963.
It was a Russian, yes, and it was a low orbit shot. That's why I said low orbit. 1963.
Yeah.
I was 2,
And the second woman in space.
but I wasn't watching TV then.
The second woman in space
Yeah.
flew July 19th, 1982.
An American.
Nope. She was a Soyuz cosmonaut.
Okay.
She flew again in 84.
Wow, they had 3 women up there before we even.
No,
did.
because Sally Ride went in
When?
83.
Okay.
And then Sally Ride went again in 84.
Okay.
Sally Ride, first LGBT person in space.
Yeah, that's only if all the men went up were in the closet, or
What do you mean? They were all in the closet? You think
I'm
everyone that
saying-
went to space was gay?
I'm saying percentages say one of them was.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Air Force fighter pilot?
dude, I was.
Macho dude? Don't tell me about your
Dude, I
experiences
was
with
in
the
the-
LGBT
I was
community
in-
when you were in the Air Force.
I was in the Navy, and
I know the song by the Village People.
Yeah, well, the guy in the Navy uniform, that's not
Hey.
made up.
In 1984,
Yeah.
not only did Sally Ride go back into space, but Judy Resnick went with her, and she died in the Challenger in
Yes, she did.
86.
And she was the
But
first school teacher.
She was the first Jewish person in space, too.
Oh. Okay.
First American woman to perform a spacewalk,
Oh, I knew this.
1984, was Catherine Sullivan.
Yes.
And there have been an incredible
How
number.
did we get on NASA from me talking about?
We were talking about first blacks to do something. And listen, I
We were talking about Kim Blackwell. You went from Kim Blackwell to NASA first launches.
no, it was that what I should tell you to do is listen to the damn podcast and then you'd know how we got there. But we went from Ken Blackwell missing out on being the first black governor.
Okay.
We've had no black lieutenant governors, but we've had female. And I said, why is it that women get ahead of black men?
It's the way the system's designed, Eric.
The system. It's meant to oppress.
You know what? There's money in it. There's money in
There's money in oppression.
There's money in oppression. There's money in
Rich
poverty.
Little was a phenomenal oppressionist.
Impressionist.
Oh, that's right. He was an
He
impressionist.
was an
Never
impressionist.
mind.
I love Rich Little.
He's very funny.
He is a funny man.
So, you have a theory that there's big money in oppressing black people and letting white women go ahead. Is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
Correct.
You know what?
What?
I don't have time for this kind of crap.
Maybe the next podcast.
Maybe.
Maybe.
For now, though,
This is Black and White.
with You have to. We have to do that again
Why?
because I can't say. Why am I saying your name?
You could have said Eric. You didn't have to say James.
Yeah, but it's not Eric and James.
It's James and Eric.
Right. So that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
you
So
do
it's
it first.
black and white
With James.
and Eric.
Okay.
You're the black guy.
So yeah, and you are the white guy.
There you go.
All right.
If I was a white woman, I'd go before you.
As it has been in society in America all my life.
All right, that's all we have time for. That's probably all you people have time for as well. So peace out, everybody. Me likes. Support for this program and the following message come from Satoli Carpet and Floor Covering. Serving the Mahoning Valley residents for more than half a century, Satoli Carpet and Floor Covering has a long and high-profile record of doing what is best in the interest of the community. Remember that when your home or office is considering new carpet and flooring, think Satoli Carpet and Floor Covering in downtown Warren. Check them out at satolicarpet.com. This program is also sponsored by Funny Farm Comedy Productions. The Funny Farm has been providing hilarious comedy shows in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania for more than 30 years. Please check them out at funnyfarmcomedyclub.com for upcoming shows, and thank you for continuing to support live comedy performance.
I would have preferred if you faded.